Now that 7-star Greninja raids are officially here, I'm back to show you the build that I was able to successfully solo this raid with. Somewhat surprisingly, but also kinda not that surprising, the King of Cinderace soloing is the same pick for this raid. That's right, Slowbro is back, and believe it or not, we're even using practically the same build as before, just a slightly different strategy due to Greninja's actions being different. So, to recap for everyone, here is the Slowbro build that we are running. We have Iron Defense, Nasty Plot, Slack Off, and Stored Power. Our stat spread should be as pictured, with EVs in HP and Special Attack, and IVs in basically everything except for Attack and maybe Speed. The Terra type should be Psychic, and for held items, I'm recommending Covert Cloak so you can avoid the possibility of secondary effects such as Freeze. Though in my experience with this build, I honestly didn't really need the Covert Cloak, so if you would like to run leftovers or something else that you find more useful, then you'd likely be fine in doing so. Now, let's jump right in and I'll show you our basic game plan. At the start, Greninja will use Double Team and Toxic Spikes. When soloing, the Toxic Spikes shouldn't cause issue, but of course we may have some RNG issues thanks to Double Team potentially making our stored powers miss. In my experience so far, I've still been able to solo the raid even with 2 to 3 missed stored powers. I recommend we start off with Iron Defense twice, then probably gonna need a Slack Off to recover health. Obviously your experience may be different, and you'll just use Slack Off as you feel it's needed. But the key point here is that Greninja is going to nullify stat changes around turn 3-ish, so until that point, the main goal is just to survive and keep our health up. You could potentially hit a couple stored powers to get yourself closer to terastallizing instead of using the iron defenses, but that's definitely a riskier strategy, so use at your own discretion. Now, once stat changes have been nullified, we can safely begin stacking iron defenses and nasty plots just like we did in the Cinderace raid. You want to do each move 3 times so that your attack and defense are both max boosted. Don't forget to slack off for health if needed though. Once your stat boosts are maxed, start spamming stored power constantly. Even if some of them missed, just try again. I missed probably a total of 3 on my first attempt and still had enough time to take Greninja down and successfully solo it first try. A couple notes though, don't forget to terastallize if you get to the point where you can. And of course, don't worry about when the shield comes up, because that's not important to us for this particular raid. We're just going to blast through it with a couple stored powers, and then once the shield's down, it should only require 1 more after that to finish him off. And now I've caught my Greninja, and hopefully you can get yours too. If you find this helpful, then you might also find this video helpful, so maybe check it out next. Thanks for watching.